they were hosting like 5 more people that had come over because they. So according to information I received yesterday, a boat left Bangladesh, or the area around Bangladesh, in late October. That boat then traveled through the waters towards Thailand and Malaysia, through the Andaman Sea, and then they split at some point into smaller boats to go to different destinations. The reason that happens is the big boat is not going to, or sort of the mothership boat is not going to land or try to approach any of these countries because it's too detectable. So they need
This is being filmed, but it's not going to be used.
Oh, okay.
So when you were at the.
So what happened, or what seems to have happened, is in that transfer, or somewhere along the lines of that transfer, one of the boats either capsized or people fell off the boat, and now the Malaysian and Thai authorities have both recovered bodies, and the death toll is around 21, according to reports. Hit with bombs, airstrikes. They're fleeing over into Bangladesh, but the government of Bangladesh, to take things a little, to understand. Well, from the Rohingya that I've spoken with over the past year or so, there's a general sense of hopelessness. There's a hopelessness about going back to Myanmar, where they have to live either under the Myanmar military or the Arakan army, which they do not feel will respect their human rights. And there's a hopelessness about the situation in Bangladesh, where it's becoming just harder to live because of these aid cuts, and because, frankly, the Bangladesh government does not make any room really for Rohingya to work, to get an education, to move around. So they're kind of increasingly suffocated within these camps. I guess the main difference is there's more people there. So in 2020, I spoke to Rohingya youth who told me that some of their friends have left on these boats to Malaysia, to Thailand, because they lost access to school. Their parents are feeling helpless, and I think we're going to see much more of this in the coming months as these aid cuts start to bite. Some of the funding has been recovered, which is good, and we would encourage the funding to be restored as much as possible. But if you don't have if you don't have enough to eat, you don't have a place to stay, and your kids can't go to school, you're going to leave. Many Rohingya still do want to go home. Yeah. It's just like what home is left? There's not really. People always leave Myanmar or Bangladesh. Rohingya have long left Myanmar and Bangladesh because the situation has never been good. They've faced persecution, lack of livelihood, lack of education. So this is not necessarily a new trend, but what's happening now is it's getting worse in both places. In Myanmar, where Rohingya feel they have no future under the Arakan army, and in Bangladesh, where it's just becoming harder to live there. And so that gives you an indication of why they would leave, but also why they would take that risk, which, as we saw from this incident, it's quite dangerous, right? I mean, you have to sail for a week to 10 days on boats. These aren't fancy boats. These aren't incredibly sound vessels. So they're risking their lives just for their future. So this time of year is sort of typically referred to euphemistically as sailing season. And it's sort of, as the rainy season goes down, the monsoon season goes down in intensity, the weather conditions are better for taking these trips. That doesn't mean they're still safe. It's still quite dangerous, as we can see here, and the weather, as we've seen in the region, can change at the drop of a hat. So I think we will definitely start seeing some more of these incidents, and that's why there's like no real education system to speak of in that armed conflict. But at the heart of it goes back to what happened in Myanmar. The people who committed crimes against the Rohingya, the reason they fled to Bangladesh, the reason people have fled from Bangladesh into other countries in the region for years, is because the Rohingya's rights at home in Myanmar are not respected. And the people who have committed crimes against them have not been held to account. That's really at the root cause of all of this. And until that happens, until that is addressed, this crisis is never going to end.
Oke, masih, Bang. Assalamualaikum.